Hey there, welcome. Today we're going to talk about a number of first-order differential equation models that may serve as a, a model of interest or the base model for something that you want to investigate. The first one I want to talk about is another model in which populations are varying between multiple states. So this model is the product adoption model. Uh, in this setup, we have people. Imagine a new product comes on the market, and we're trying to figure out how many people are going to be interested in this model. So let's talk about the different groups that people could fit into. So just like in the SIR model, we might be talking about a susceptible population. So in this case, it would be better labeled a potential adopters group of people. With any technology or with any uh, option, there's some relationship. There's always going to be some group of people that's interested in adopting early, and some group of people that will wait and see what other people are doing and whether they like it. So there's a set of early adopters, there's a set of imitators, and we can maybe think about this middle column as transitory states, as people enter into one of these two boxes before they end up deciding that they do like the product or they don't like the product. And so that becomes strong consumers, or maybe they become lost customers over time. So just as in the SIR model, what we'll do is we will connect the boxes in different ways. So we'll say, all right, there's some likelihood that somebody who is a potential adopter becomes an early adopter. And so why don't we call that KPE? And then probably depending on how many early adopters there are, there's some likelihood that somebody becomes an imitator. So starts off as a potential adopter, becomes an imitator. So let's call this KPI. And then maybe this product just isn't for you. Maybe you're somebody who, for some particular reason, is not interested in this type of product. Those people might move directly or might move over time into a lost customer point of view, and so we can model that transition as well. Um, then some early adopters become strong customers, while some early adopters become lost customers. They get excited about the next new thing and not about this one. So there's some KES and there's some KEL. And similarly, an imitator may end up liking the product and becoming a strong customer, and maybe they will become a lost customer. Maybe they tried it out and they're like, yeah, maybe that was only for those cool people, and I'm just not feeling so cool today. And then with any product over time, you would expect that some of even the strong customers start to lose interest and don't have a need for the product anymore, and so then we would have some transition between S and L. Now, in this model, just like in the SIR model, the sum of these percentages of people in the different groups is 100%, and we've got what we're interested in. We're interested in modeling how we go from time t to time t plus 1. And so we take these transitions between states and we turn them into a differential equation. These k's can be impacted afterwards by some marketing or by some switch in events that changes probabilities, so some intervention that happens. But let's set up this base differential equation. So dp dt, the number of potential adopters is impacted by KPE times P. So of the number of potential adopters, some of them are becoming early adopters, some of them are becoming imitators, and some of them are becoming lost. So all of these are taking people away from P. So we could look at this as negative KPE times P minus KPI times I minus KP, oops, not times I, sorry, times P. These are all depending on how many people are currently in P, minus KPL of P. So this KPI of P, if you wanted to be there's some relationship between early adopters to create imitators, maybe this would be KPI P times E. But let's just keep this simple idea. And now let's talk about moving into the E box. Well, there's some people going into the E box and some people coming out of the E box. So the people going into the E box are KPE times P, but the people going out of the E box are KP, KES times I, no, times E, and KEL times E. So depending on how many people are in the E box, these constants, the KES and the KEL, are moving people into the S and the L boxes. Actually, this is not such a bad idea. Let's put some colors in here. So these are the P's, and from the P's we have these three arrows. From the E we have these two arrows. And now let's talk about the I. So what's moving into I? Moving into I is a positive KPI times P. And moving out of the I is a minus KIS times I and a minus KIL times I. So those are the things moving out of I. Let me choose a new color. So this is I, this is I. And then what else do we have? Now we have what is the SDT? So what's going into S and out of S? So into S is KES times times E, and then plus KIS times I, and then we're losing some of these strong customers into the lost customers. So minus KSL times S. All right, and choose a new color. That's the S. And this is E. All right, and then we look at the L box, and the L box are all the arrows going into L. There's 4 arrows going into L. There's the P arrow, there's the E arrow, there's the I arrow, and there's the S arrow. So KPL times P plus KEL times E plus KIL times I plus KSL times S. And so each of these pieces starts in one of the boxes and it ends, each one of these transitions starts in one of the boxes and ends in one of the other boxes. And that's why this sum always stays constant at 100%. So you could imagine maybe setting up some other states, setting up some other way that people transition between boxes. Maybe somebody, maybe after being a lost customer for a while, you end up being a potential customer for the next version of the iPhone. Who knows? Let's stop there. I'll give you a couple more examples in the next video. See you shortly.